first game is Wednesday. No, but they're catching a break, so they're playing Towson. Maryland, yeah. Wednesday out east, the weather's supposed to get up at 60.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they timed it perfect.
It's cold there today.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's pitching tomorrow. Scrimmage. He says it's probably going to be about 35. So today, they originally had me throwing today for the first time, coming off his injury. So when they looked at the weather, it's about 22 wind chill. Just have you throw them all.
It's also 35 here.
Yeah.
Stop! Yes, good to see everybody.
That's right, we played.
Hello.
Oh, but Prosper.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Richardson's everything.
Who was?
I was thinking they must have started their best guy because they got one. Prosper throwing a fireball or two. What was that kid's name? Honor, there's another ball cap on my phone. I'm going to watch it back. And then I'll go do it. You know, my old stuff.
Morning, baseball fans. It is Saturday morning baseball coming to you from Allen Eagle Baseball Field, where we have a matchup between the Highland Park Scots and the Denison Yellow Jackets. And as you can see, the Scots taking first at bat here in the top half of the first inning. That means they will be the away team for today's matchup. The Denison Yellow Jackets in the field. Denison wearing their all-white jerseys, yellow lettering, and yellow stripes on the sleeves, surrounded by black. Scots wearing their yellow jerseys, white pinstripe pants, jerseys with navy lettering and navy numbering. On the mound for the Yellow Jackets will be Brennan Wolf as he delivers his first pitch to Braden Jirovec. As that misses up high for ball one, and we are underway once again from beautiful Allen, Texas, home of the Allen Eagles. 1-0 the count. Misses down low for ball two. No score operator up in the press box with me, as I will be trying to keep up with the score this whole game. Haven't had any trouble so far. Hopefully that streak stays alive. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Misses down low and outside for ball three. Count goes to 3-0 to start the game off to Jirovec. Jirovec ended hitless yesterday. 2 strikeouts in the first game, and then 0 for 3 against the Richardson Eagles, where he had a ground out, a fly out, 2 ground outs and a fly out along with a walk. 3-1 now the count. Is Jirovec ready in the right box? Here's the pitch. That is a high fly ball over to the right, or the left, excuse me, of first base, and that drops for a foul ball. Brings the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was to my right, player's left. And that was Farley Jr. hustling over past first to make the grab. That's Kanan Farley Jr. Extremely sunny day here in Allen, Texas. Not a cloud in the sky, as it is a complete blue day. Very beautiful day. That 3-2 pitch, that's hit over second, and that is through for a base hit down into the right center gap, and that is a leadoff base hit for Braden Jirovic to start things off. So with a runner on first now, bringing Patrick Turner up to the plate. Starting lineup for the Scots, starting things off, and this starting lineup brought to you by Chips Old Fashioned Hamburgers, the best burger ever, and I'll talk to those after this pitch. Explain those after that. Ball misses inside for ball one. Jirovic currently on first, Patrick Turner up to the plate. Preston Gamster on deck, he'll be playing shortstop. Josh Bowers, the catcher, batting fourth. Harrison Duggar in the 5-hole, and he's followed by Jack Curtis as that one is fouled down the third base line. And that'll even the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bowers at catcher, Duggar batting fifth, playing in left field. Jack Curtis, the designated hitter, will be batting sixth, followed by Hunter Kraus, the third baseman. Jack Rich batting eighth and playing first, followed by Sam Sessions, who will be bringing up the bottom of the lineup and playing second base. Brennan Wolf steps off the mound, takes a quick look over at Jirovic before coming set. Here's the pitch. It's hit over to second, picked up by Johnson. He will not throw to second as he'll go over to first for the easy out, and that is one away as Turner goes down with that 4-3 putout. Jirovic now at second, however. Ball was just slow enough so that Johnson could not get the throw over to second in time. He had to skip the double play and get it over to first for at least 1 out. So Turner 0 for 1. With Preston Gamster now coming up to the plate. Gamster playing shortstop, as I mentioned earlier, for the Scots in today's matchup. Gamster played in the first game yesterday against Prosper. Scots went 1 for 1 yesterday after a 1-1, that is. After a 10-0 loss against Prosper, they ended up winning 3-2 over Richardson in a walk-off fashion, literally a walk-off fashion. After that was Jack Curtis, who ended up walking with the bases loaded to bring in Jack Jackson. Or excuse me, that was Braden Jirovic, comes in from third to end the game with a 3-2 win for the Scots. Ball misses inside. The count goes to 1-0 to Gamster. Wolf in the stretch. Again, now with a runner on second. Takes a look at Jirovic. Another look and comes home. It's it over to short. That'll be picked up by Easton. Chunk over to first is in time for the second out. And that is Uton, actually. That is not Easton. Excuse me, little misread there. Uton at short. So 2 away with that 6-3 put out. Jirovic over to third. Go ahead run 90 feet from the plate very early in this game, top of the first inning. Today's Scots game is brought to you by Vista Bank. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. That's a high fly into left field, and that will be settled under by McKay, and he'll make the grab for the third out. That'll be the end of the top half of the first inning. Scots go down relatively quietly. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left stranded. Jirovic could not reach home. We'll be back for the bottom half of the first inning. We are scoreless. You're watching Highland Park Baseball with Game On Sports. Bottom of the first inning coming up from Allen High School, home of the Allen Eagles. The Scots taking the field for the first time in today's 11 a.m. matchup against the Denison Yellow Jackets. And on the mound for the Scots will be Gavin Parati, nicknamed P-Rot by his teammates. And up to the plate for the Jackets first will be Peyton Johnson. He'll be followed by Cam Wheeler. And then Drew Meek will be in the hole to start things off. And here's the first pitch from Parati. And that is swung on and missed for strike one. And a good start here for the Scots as they look to go 1-0 for the day. This is their only game of the day, finishing up the Collin County Classic today before coming back next week and playing on our home turf for the first time this season in the Scotland Yard Classic. And all those games will be once again here on Game On Sports. Scots baseball brought to you by Vista Bank. Once again, Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. 1-1 now the count. Parati gets his sign from Bowers, and he comes set. Here's the pitch. That is a called strike. Check swing from Peyton Johnson. As that is a called strike anyway. Count goes to 1-2. Go through the field layout for the Scots after this 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses a little bit low and outside for ball two. Parati once again on the mound. Josh Bowers behind the plate. Kraus over at third. Gamster playing shortstop. Sam Sessions at second. And Jack Rich will be at first. And that pitch swung on. He got him swinging. Parati starts things off with a strikeout. That strikeout brought to you by Rimrock Partners. And that's the infield for the Scots. Harrison Duggar will be in left field. Braden Jirovic over in center. And Patrick Turner will be in right for the Scots today. Brings Cam Wheeler up to the deck, or up to the plate actually, as Drew Meek now on deck. There we go. Parati misses this one up high for ball one. Allen High School, most well known, one for their alumni, and two for that massive football stadium that is right behind us, not in the camera shot, but Eagle Stadium, absolutely massive, one of the most expensive and one of the biggest stadiums in the country. High school stadiums, that is. And that's a dead ball that hits him as Wheeler now heads into first, being hit by that pitch. So runner on first now as Drew Meek will now step up to the plate. Eagle Stadium, as I mentioned, one of the biggest in the country, 18,000 seat capacity, built in 2012. So still relatively new stadium, as it is definitely some eye candy. It's absolutely gorgeous to see. And that's just from the outside. Imagine what the inside looks like. Want to know the count, Parati. Throw over to first, runner goes, and this is a bit of a pickle, as that they will get him in a rundown. And he slipped up as that tag will be made. That tag will be made from Parati as Cam Wheeler caught stealing. Caught stealing in a way, I guess. 2 away. Nobody on now. Ball is fouled off. Evens the count at 1-1. Meek playing in right field for the Jackets today. As Parati comes set, the glove at his belt. Breaking ball misses just up high. Count comes to 2-1 now. Also mentioned some noticeable alumni from Allen, Texas. Most notable to me, Jalen Guyton and Kyler Murray, 2 NFL football players who graduated from Allen High School, now currently playing in the NFL. Kyler Murray playing for the Cardinals. And Jalen Guyton playing for the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he graduated actually from University of North Texas and is now playing for the San Diego Chargers. Excuse me, that is Los Angeles Chargers now. I forgot they moved. This count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Proddy comes home. Misses up high. Full count now, 3-2. Scots overall 2 for 2 in the Collin County Classic so far. Went 1-1 for both days. As that pitch is swung on, that's fouled off. As that dribbles down towards the Scots dugout, is picked up by the Denison third base coach. Count remains full, 3-2. The Scots nearing district play as soon as the Scotland Yard Classic finishes up next weekend. They will head to district play as that ball swung on and missed for strike 3. That is 2 strikeouts for Gavin Parati already in the first inning, and we are scoreless after 1 full inning of play. Scott's coming back up to the plate. You're watching Highland Park Baseball with Game On Sports. Second inning coming up here from Allen High School as the Scots taking on the Denison Yellow Jackets. We are scoreless after 1 inning of play as the Jackets went down 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts, and then Cam Wheeler ended up reaching base after being hit by a pitch, but he was picked off trying to steal second and got into a pickle there between first and second base. Due up for the Scots as Harrison Duggar now with a 2-0 count. Harrison Duggar starting things off, followed by Jack Curtis, and then Hunter Kraus will be in the hole. Pitch from Wolf comes in and misses for ball 3. 3-0 now, the count to Duggar. Duggar with that wide open stance, as I mentioned earlier. His back foot on the front, on the inside baseline. And that's ball 3, actually. I apologize again, missed a couple pitches there as I was looking through the scorebook. Duggar once again inside back foot on the inside baseline as that ball is swung on and fouled off, and his front foot almost reaching the outside line of the batter's box. Brings a 3-1 count. The hitter's count on the way to Duggar. Pitch from Wolf. Comes in. That is swung on and missed as well. Or, excuse me, that is fouled off, actually. Got a piece of it, just not enough, as the count becomes full, 3-2. Ball misses outside for ball 4. And Duggar reaches first with that full count walk. And that'll bring up Jack Curtis. Curtis, the designated hitter for the Scots today. Curtis, the junior, believes that he would be voted most likely to break a bat. Huge fan of chocolate milkshakes and wheat thins. Runner goes from second. Throw down from Paulson. Offline, not in time. As Duggar now reaches second with a stolen base. I do have to say I agree with Curtis with that chocolate milkshake being the favorite drink. Curtis claimed that hit him. Home plate umpire says no, it did not. Now Coach Yoder gonna check out with the home plate umpire. And we're back to action now, as that pitch did come in a bit too inside. Didn't look like it hit him, but then again, anything that barely grazes him will not be noticed. Most likely won't be noticed from up here in the press box. Called strike on the outside part of the plate brings the count to 2-1 now. As Wolf comes set, he takes a look over at Duggar on second base. Here's the pitch. That's lofted. Could be trouble as that heads towards the dugout. Sliding catch. What a play from Farley Jr. as he makes the grab, and Jack Curtis goes down with that F3. So that's one away. Duggar advancing to third with one away. Chance for the Scots to take a lead here as Hunter Kraus steps up to the plate. Wolf comes home with that first pitch that is lifted into left field. That is hustled on by McKay, and he'll make the grab. Throw home. Perfect throw. Oh, my goodness. A missile from Cooper McKay. And got Harrison Duggar by at least 10 feet. And that'll end the top half of the second as the Scots go down. No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left on base after that tag out. We'll be back bottom half of the second inning coming up here on Game On Sports. Bottom of the second coming up from Allen High School. The Jackets getting their second at-bat. Currently scoreless midway through 2. It's Perotti, that first pitch to McKay. Misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count. As that ball misses up high as well. 2-0 the count. McKay finished the top of the second with that missile of a throw from left field to the plate to beat out Harrison Duggar, trying to make it home from third. That ball fouled off. Count it 2-1. It's McKay in the right-handed box. Ball hit over to second. That'll be picked up by Sam Sessions. He'll toss it over to first for the first out. That 4-3 putout brings McKay to an 0-1 day so far, 0-4-1, bringing Kanan Farley Jr. up to the plate. Farley, the first baseman for the Yellow Jackets in this game. You see this absolutely beautiful turf from Allen High School as this ball once again hit over to second. That'll be picked up by Sessions. He'll toss it over. Rich makes the grab for that second out. Another 4-3 putout for the Scots. As that brings now Logan Tilley up to the plate. Tilley playing center field for Denison in today's game. Perotti with that first pitch. That is a great breaking ball. Drops just in the strike zone for strike one. Field dimensions here at Allen. Absolutely massive field. 333 to both corners. 378 in the left and right center alleys. As this ball hit past second base. Diving Sessions cannot make the grab as that is bobbled by Jirvek. Throw to second. Gets over the head of Gamster. And the field umpire takes a spill. My goodness. Well, that was an interesting little sequence there. As that'll be Logan Tilley now into second base. Owen Uten now up to the plate. Uten playing short for the Yellow Jackets. Once again, 333 to both down the first and third base lines. 378 down the right and center field, or right and left center alleys. And then 392 dead center, almost 400 feet to dead center field. This is a gigantic field here at Allen High School. Breaking ball from Perotti is big swing and a miss from Uten. That evens the count 1-1. Once again, we are scoreless here in the bottom half of the second inning. Runner on second. That pitch. High chopper over the pitcher's mound. Picked up by Gamster. He'll toss it over to first on the run for the third out. Great play by Gamster. As that ends the second inning, we remain scoreless through two. You're watching a Highland Park Scots baseball brought to you by Vista Bank on Game On Sports. off for the Scots as we get ready for the top half of the third inning. We are scoreless as Brennan Wolf deals his first pitch of the third inning. That drops low and outside for ball one. Due up for the Scots, Jack Rich, Sam Sessions, and Braden Juravec, the first three batters in this half inning. That ball also misses up high for ball two. Rich, the first baseman, also wearing number 3. He's playing number 3 and wearing number 3 as well. Ball through the legs of Wolf as that is in for a base hit. Diving Johnson makes the play. Johnson, the second baseman, making the play. As you saw Rich hold his arms up in the air. He's extremely excited that he got that hit. I think that might have been the first hit there for Sam Sessions. Looking through here real quick. Yes, I believe that was the very first hit for Sam Sessions as he now reaches second base. No throw down from Paulson. There's a runner on second now. Nobody out for, excuse me, that's Jack Rich. That's on second. I do apologize there. Sam Sessions up to the plate. This bunt laid down the third base line. That'll be picked up by Parker. He'll throw over to first. The stretch from Farley Jr. is in time for the first out. Meanwhile, Sessions going over to Rich to third now. Sessions is out with that 5-3 putout. I do apologize for that mix-up. So Jack Rich now on third base as Braden Juravec is up to the plate now. This ball lifted into the gap between left and center field, picked up by the center fielder Tilley. The throw home will not be in time as that'll score a run for the Scots. Jack Rich coming in from third. And they take the lead 1-0 here in the top of the third inning, that is, excuse me. I'm just fumbling all over the place today as Patrick Turner now up to the plate. Braden Juravec goes down with that F8, but that scores a run as this pitch is fouled off for strike one to Patrick Turner. Turner, the future Navy midshipman, as he will be heading to Annapolis in the fall to play football. That is a high drive into center field. That's Tilley ranging back to his left, and that drops for a base hit. Tilley dives for it, can't make the grab. Turner rounding second, heading for third, and he's going to try for it. Oh, no, he will not, as he will stop at third base. That is a triple for Patrick Turner. Turner with a great hit. Tilley, great effort, but just could not come up with the ball as he dove behind to his left, could not make the grab. That'll bring Preston Gamster up to the plate now. Gamster 0 for 1 with a ground out in his first at bat. That pitch from Wolf is a called strike. Count it 0-1 now to the shortstop. Gamster the junior. This ball comes in, misses up high for ball one. Gamster, big fan of the cool blue Gatorade. That is the light blue flavor of Gatorade. Light blue color, cool blue flavored. As that hits him, and Turner Not sure what happened there. Guess he thought it was just a pass ball, but he's going to head back to third base as Gamster now into first after being hit by that pitch. Runners on the corners now for Josh Bowers. Bowers the catcher in today's action as he takes a couple practice swings. Gamster and Turner both with leads on their respective bases. First pitch misses in the dirt for ball one. In the turf, I should say. Allen playing on an all-turf ball field, much like all of the fields the Scots have played on so far this season. Infield very similar to the Toronto Blue Jays infield layout prior to 2016. The Blue Jays went through a little field renovation back in 2016 as runner goes from first, ball misses in the dirt for ball two to Bowers, and now runners on second and third as Gamster takes advantage of that pitch to steal second. Runners on second and third. Wolf comes home. Ball chopped over towards short. That's grabbed by Uton. Makes the throw in time for the third out. That will end the inning. The Scots go down, but not before adding a run and taking the lead here with one run on two hits, no errors, and two left stranded. And the Scots lead 1-0 midway through three here from Allen, Texas. You're watching Game On Sports. And came home on that sac fly from Braden Jirovec. Due up for the Yellow Jackets, Preston Paulson will start things off. He'll be followed by Garland Parker. And then Peyton Johnson will be finishing things off, as that is a base hit for Preston Paulson. As that ball goes into right field, picked up by Patrick Turner to lead things off. That'll bring Garland Parker up to the plate now. Parker, the 9-hole hitter. Peyton Johnson on deck, currently at 0 for 1, as there will be a pinch runner in place for Paulson. Paulson, the catcher. We'll get that name for y'all here shortly. That'll be Ethan Jarish. Jarish. This first pitch comes in a little high. Misses for ball 1. Once again, Scots Baseball brought to you by Vista Bank. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912. Also want to give a quick shout out to Audi Dallas, the #1 Texas Audi dealer. Check over at first, not in time. As Jarish reaches back safely. Throw over to first, again not in time. No tag will be laid this time. It's just Scott's just keeping the runner in check. Parati comes set. He comes home. Misses down low for ball 2. That is a called strike. Down at the knees. Bowers had to get his glove in the dirt to grab that one out, but it did cross. Must have crossed just at the knees, as this brings the count to 2-1. Throw over to first once again. Again, not in time. Jarish could probably afford to grab another step and still reach safely. Yes, that is about a 5-foot leadoff as that ball hit over to third, over to second, in time, sliding play, over to first. Quick call there from the field umpire, but he says he is safe. Great play from Kraus, throwing it over to a sliding Sessions to make the play over at second base. Sessions just a bit late as Garland reaches on a fielder's choice. Paulson out at second, bringing up Peyton Johnson for his second at bat. Johnson 0 for 1, as I mentioned earlier, with a strikeout to start things off in the first. Parati with 2 strikeouts so far, both of them in the first inning, the first and third out of the top half of the first. Excuse me, bottom half of the first. Scots are the away team in today's matchup. Take this time to give a quick shout out to Goff's Hamburgers. Goff's Hamburgers, a tradition like no other. Parati, once again, another throw over to first. And again, not in time. Garland with a good lead over at second, an extra step from Paulson. As that ball is in for a strike. Evens the count 1-1. That breaking ball dropping in there in the strike zone. It's a high fly in the shallow left field towards the line. That drops for a base hit just at the foul line. And you saw Kraus hustle back to third as Parker now into second. Johnson in with his first hit of the day, and that brings runners to first and second. And Kraus hustled back to third because third was unoccupied for a little bit. Would have given Parker a chance to extend to third base. Brings Cam Wheeler up to the plate now. Wheeler reached after being hit by a pitch in his first at bat, ended up being thrown out trying to steal. Throw to first, got him in a pickle, and ended up getting him out. Parati making the tag himself in that rundown. On the count. With one away, runners on first and second. Infield fly rule in effect. Throw to first. They got him. Parker definitely was confused by what was happening in that play. You saw Kraus sprint up towards home plate. Parker ended up taking a few extra steps towards second base. The throw over from Parati, perfect throw to Gamster. Gamster had to reach just a little bit to make, as he made the tag for that second out. Runner on first now. As this pitch comes in, it's a high chopper over the pitcher's mound, picked up by Gamster. Throw to first, too high. Jack Rich had to come off the bag to make that grab. As Wheeler reaches on that E6. Runners on first and second once again here. Infield fly rule not in effect as we have 2 away in the bottom half of this third inning. Scots again with a narrow 1-0 lead. Parati drops this one in for strike 1 to Drew Meek. And as I mentioned earlier, Allen High School, home to the Eagles and also to the massive Eagle football stadium. I mentioned it had an 18,000 seat capacity. As that ball drops in up high for ball 1. 18,000 capacity, but the largest attendance ever at Eagle Stadium, actually 3,000 over that. The record capacity was 21,766. And that was back in 2012 against South Lake Carroll. Throw over to first is not in time as Gamster had to slide in front of that one to make the stop. Parati ready with the 1-1 pitch. That's lofted into the left center gap. That'll be brought under by Jirovic. He'll make the grab for that last out. Scots maintain their 1-0 lead, and the Jackets go down no runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. And we'll be back for the 4th inning coming up here from Allen High School. You're watching Game On Sports. Top of the 4th inning coming up here. Scots playing the Denison Yellow Jackets. Due up for the Scots in this 4th inning will be Harrison Duggar. He'll be followed by Jack Curtis and Hunter Kraus. Harrison Duggar sporting that signature wide stance. The widest stance that we have seen on this Scots team so far. Ball misses outside. Brings the count to 2-0 to the left fielder. That pitch from Wolf misses up high. Brings the count 3-0 now. Duggar way ahead in the count as he has yet to register an at bat. Got walked back in the second, almost reached home, ended up getting thrown out on a cannon from McKay. 3-1 now the count as Duggar was on a hard red light there. Hitters count coming up. The pitch from Wolf. That is a drive into deep right field nearing the fence. Back towards the wall. That is gone! Harrison Duggar with a solo shot just to the left of the scoreboard. And the Scots extend their lead to 2-0 now. And that massive field from Allen not looking so massive now, as it looked like Duggar didn't even swing hard at that pitch, as that one went sailing over the right field wall. The Jacket coach going to have a little talk with Wolf and Paulson. Scott's now with a 2-0 lead, and Jack Curtis stepping up to the plate. Duggar with his first home run. As this pitch misses up high. Curtis, the designated hitter, here's the pitch. That ball's a high drive into center field, as that'll be settled under by Tilly. Tilly makes the grab for the first out. And Curtis goes down with that F8 with Hunter Kraus stepping up to the plate now. Kraus 0 for 1, nobody on, 1 away. Kraus with a fly out in his first at-bat, fly out over to left field. And that left field fly was the play where Duggar ended up being thrown out at home. 1-0 the count as Wolf delivers. Misses down low for ball 2. Wolf with a wide wind-up stance as he comes home, misses down low. And you see, before he starts his wind-up, he has a very wide stance there. As that 3-0 pitch is a called strike, brings the count to 3-1. Wolf, the right-hander, brings that one too far inside as that goes right over the inside line of the right-handed box, and that'll be a walk for Hunter Kraus. He'll reach first after that 3-1 inside pitch, bringing Jack Rich up to the plate. And Jack Rich had an exciting first at-bat back in the second, as he ended up getting his very first hit of the season in his last at bat. And that was actually back in the third. As this pitch from Wolf comes in behind Rich. Bringing the count to 2-0. Kraus over at first with a big lead. A good couple of steps outside the dirt-colored turf over at first. That is a called strike. Called strike 3, a little bit low. Coach Yoder yelling from third base as Jack Rich. Ball did seem a little bit low, but Jack Rich goes down looking on that strike 3 call, bringing Sam Sessions up to the plate. Jack Rich now goes to 1 for 2 after that single in the third. He strikes out looking. First pitch to Sessions is a called strike on the outside corner. Pretty wide zone overall from this home plate umpire. Seems to be calling stripe to stripe, chin to chin. Sessions rips this one past third base for a base hit. And that'll be Kraus stopping at second base. We have runners on first and second now. 2 away. Runners on first and second with Braden Jirovic up to the plate. Infield fly roll again, not in effect because of the 2 outs that we have in this half inning. Wolf has his sign from Paulson. Scots leading 2-0 here. Takes a long look at second, and time is called just before he comes home. Jirovic 1 for 2 with a single. He started things off with a single in the first and then flew out to center in the third. Called strike outside part of the plate. Starts the count off 0-1 to the center fielder. Wolf steps off the mound. Seems a little flustered there. As we get ready for this 0-1 pitch. Jirovic's ball is hit into left field, and that will be a line drive caught by Meek. And that ends the top half of the fourth. Scots had another run after a solo shot from Harrison Duggar over the right field fence, and the Scots now lead 2-0. We'll be back bottom half of the fourth inning coming up on Game On Sports. Bottom half of the fourth inning from Allen High School. Scots leading 2-0 over the Denison Yellow Jackets. And you saw that cannon of an arm from Josh Bowers on that throwdown as we get set to go here. Bottom half of the fourth. Maybe we'll see that arm in action here later on in this game. As Parati ready to deal this first pitch. That is fouled off by McKay. McKay will start things off as he now faces an 0-1 count. Farley Jr. actually on deck, and Tilly will be in the hole. 0-1 the count. Check swing attempt at least from McKay, as the umpire says yes, you definitely did go, bringing the count to 0-2. Parati getting a sign from Bowers. He has it. Here's the pitch. Called! Strike 3 on the outside corner. That is the out number 1 in this fourth inning for the Scots. And that'll be the third strikeout for Gavin Parati. And that brings Kanan Farley Jr. up to the plate. Farley is 0 for 1, had a ground out in the second inning. And that hits him. First pitch a little too far inside as Farley into first after being hit by that pitch. And we are approaching the 1 hour mark of this game. 2 hour time limit in this Collin County Classic. Once again, last day for the Scots, last game for this weekend, as we will be back to action next Thursday. That'll be at Scotland Yard. First home game for the Scotties. That ball is swung on and missed for strike one. Logan Tilley 1 for 1 with a single back in the second. Throw it down to first will not be in time. There won't be a play there. Jack Rich making the grab over at first. Very good crowd here for both the Scots and the Jackets. Throw down from Bowers to second. Will get away from Gamster. The throw was in time, but that ball just could not get into the glove of Preston Gamster, as now Kanan Farley Jr. reaches second base. Good Scots crowd here. Lots of parents, lots of fans out to watch these Scotties. In this game, a little bit closer to Highland Park than past games have been. Throw to second. Got him reaching, but not in time. Farley back just in time, as that throw also almost got away from Gamster. So he had to dive back to make that grab. Probably looks at second before coming home. Misses down low for ball one. Tilley in the right-handed box, and we are just about ready to go. Pitch misses up high for ball two. Possibly a birthday party up in the distance. Just, you see a massive red balloon over to the left center field gap. Possibly a destination marker for a few guests later on. And that ball chopped down the third base line. That'll go foul. Brings the count to 2-2 with 2 away. Or excuse me, 1 away, that is. 1 away, runner on first. Scots leading 2-0. They extended their lead after a Harrison Duggar solo shot back in the top of the fourth. Tiebreaker pitch, here he comes. Ripped down to short, throw to third, and they'll get Farley in a rundown, and that'll be Kraus laying the tag on him for that second out. Good idea there from Gamster as he caught Farley heading towards third. Makes the throw over to third to get him before he can reach his destination. So with 2 away, we have a runner on first now as Tilley reaches on that fielder's choice for Owen Uton coming up to the plate. Uton 0 for 1 with a ground out back in the second. That ground out over to Gamster. Throw down, not in time. As Tilley, who has now reached base in both at bats today, back in safely. And this Yellow Jacket team with noticeably smaller leadoffs than the Scots. You saw Kraus getting his lead over at first, a good few steps past the dirt. Whereas the Yellow Jackets mostly stopping right at the edge of the dirt. The ball misses up high for ball 1 to Houghton. Ball hit towards third. That is a sliding stop by Kraus. He'll make the throw over to second for the third out. What a play there from Hunter Kraus to make the stop. And that'll end the 4th inning. The Scots end up saving some runs from scoring, and the Jackets go down no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And we'll be back. Top half of the 5th inning coming up here from Allen High School. You're watching Game On Sports. Is this a new pitcher? New pitcher coming in for this top half of the 5th inning to start things off for the Jackets, and that'll be number 13, Ethan Jerish. And he'll be on the mound. Second pitcher for this Yellow Jackets team as Patrick Turner will start things off in the top half of the 5th for the Scots. And that first pitch from Jerish misses down low for ball 1. Turner 1 for 2. He had a ground out to start things for the first out in the first. Then he hit a triple into center field in his last at bat, and this ball lifted straight up over towards the first base line. That'll be picked up by Farley, and that will bring Turner to 1 for 3 after that F3 putout, bringing Preston Gamster up to the plate now. Gamster at 0 for 1 with another ground out back in the first, and then he got hit by a pitch in the third that ended up helping him reach first. He reached second back in that 3rd inning as this ball ripped up the middle. That's through for a base hit, almost hitting Jerish, as that is a single for Preston Gamster. And he'll now be 1 for 2 on the day with Josh Bowers coming up to the plate. Bowers with a pair of dingers so far in this season, as he's stepping in to that right-handed box. Run on first, Preston Gamster with the lead. Getting a couple extra steps there as he's a little fidgety over at first. diving back in plenty of time. Swipe tag from Farley Jr. Cannot complete the play. Bowers 0 for 2 with a fly out in the first and then a ground out in the third. Looking for that first hit. Tried to check swing there. Could not do it, as that'll be a strike. Bowers now with an 0-1 count as Jarish gets his sign from Paulson. He delivers. Breaking ball. Looked like it was going to be inside and then broke down at the last second, broke into that strike zone, bringing the count to 0-2. Gamster with that lead over on first. Ball misses in the dirt for ball 1. One and 2 count to the Scots catcher. Scots 2-2 on the weekend, 4-4 on the season so far, looking to have their winning record heading into next weekend. Runner goes, ball is lifted foul, as that will head out of play just by the batting cages down the first base line, that is, I apologize. That'll keep the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bowers. Gamster with a couple extra steps past the dirt, and that is a skyrocket lifted into straight shallow center field over a bit to the left of second base, and that is caught for the second out. Bowers down with that F6. That brings Harrison Duggar back up to the plate. Duggar, if you remember his last at bat, had that solo home run, his first home run of the season, down the first base line over the right field fence. That ball ended up going over just to the left of the scoreboard out in right field. Runner goes from first. Throw down to second will not come as Paulson just tosses that ball back to Jarish. And that'll be Gamster now into second with that stolen base. He tried to steal earlier, could not get there as that ball was fouled off. But he has now completed that task, and he is at second base. Jarish comes home. That ball misses outside. The count to Duggar goes to 2-0. That's a called strike, bringing the count to 2-1 now. Harrison Duggar, nicknamed Dougie Fresh, and Dugbot along with Speff. Not really sure where the Speff comes from. That's a drive into center field. That will be Tilley settling under it for the third out, and he'll make the grab. That'll end the top half of the fifth inning. Scots go down quietly. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, one left on base. Gamster left stranded at second. Scots lead 2-0 midway through 5. You're watching Game On Sports. Bottom half of the fifth here from Allen High School. Scots leading the Denison Yellow Jackets 2-0 heading into this bottom half of the fifth. And due up for the Jackets, that'll be Preston Paulson. And he will be followed by Parker Garland and Peyton Johnson. Same due up from the second inning as this first pitch from Parati. Misses down low for ball one. Parati in for his fifth inning of work as that pitch comes in. Breaking ball reaches the strike zone for strike one. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike to Paulson. Paulson 1 for 1. He had a single in the third. Ended up being thrown out at second. Ball hit chopper over to short. Gamster with the throw on the run. Close play is in time. Good play from Gamster at shortstop. And Paulson goes down with that 6-3 putout for Parker Garland. Garland reached on a fielder's choice in his first at bat. Ended up reaching second before the inning ended. Throw from Parati. Just a bit outside, as that makes the count 1-0. Parker, the third baseman for the Jackets here today. Ball misses down low for number 2. That is ball number 2. That 2-0 pitch hit over to short. Gamster makes the throw. Easy throw from Gamster over to Rich at first for that second out. Gamster with quite a bit of action so far today. Couple of putouts. He had an error in the third, but he seems to have put that behind him. As since then, he's 2 for 2 with ground balls. And that throw back in the third, that was a cleanly fielded ground ball. The throw was just a little bit high as he could not get that out. Jack Rich had to jump off the bag, which allowed Cam Wheeler to reach safely. The pitch, that lifted into shallow right field. Patrick Turner will settle under it for the grab, and that'll end the inning. Jackets go down 1-2-3 after that F9 to finish things off. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. Heading in to the 6th inning of action. Scots lead 2-0 on Game On Sports. Top of the 6th inning here from Allen High School, home of the Allen Eagles. Scots taking on the Denison Yellow Jackets. In these last 2 innings of action, we should be able to complete the game here today, as we still have about 40 minutes left in this time limit here from Allen. Last day of the Collin County Classic, as that first pitch to Jack Curtis is fouled off. Do it for the Scots. Jack Curtis will start things off. He'll be followed by Hunter Kraus, and Jack Rich will be in the hole. Sam Sessions, the 9-hole hitter, will be after Rich. So 6, 7, 8 starting things off. And that breaking ball drops in for a strike. Evens the count at makes the count 0-2 now. And Jerish has his sign. He comes home. Misses down low for ball 1. Now Paulson going to head on out and have a little talk with Jerish. And we are ready to get back to action here. Jack Curtis, the designated hitter. He is a junior. Big fan of the TV show Stranger Things, as this ball lifted into straight center field. That'll be brought in by Tilly for the first out. Curtis goes down with that F8 put out, bringing Hunter Kraus up to the plate. Kraus 0 for 1. He had a fly out back in the second to start things off. Then he got walked back in the fourth. Ended up reaching second before that fourth inning ended. Jerish with that first pitch reaches the inside corner for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch to Kraus, misses low. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hunter Kraus, the third baseman, as I mentioned earlier, for the Scots. That ball foul tip. Gets away, as that'll bring the count to 1-2 now. As that ball went off of the very tip of the bat. Kraus just got a little piece of that one. That 1-2 pitch misses up high, evens the count 2-2, 1 away. No runners on, as Jack Curtis, last batter, started things off with a fly out. 2-2, here's the pitch. Ripped down the third baseline. That'll be fair, as that goes just to the right. And that'll be Kraus heading to second, and he'll be in with a sliding double. He is now 1 for 2 with that double. And with 1 away, that brings Jack Rich up to the plate. Great shot there from Kraus, as he was able to ride that line down to the left field fence. Ball bouncing over third base, making it a fair ball. With a runner on second, 1 away, Rich up at the plate. Rich is 1 for 2, as that ball almost got away from Paulson. Ball 1. Rich 1 for 2, as I mentioned earlier. He had a single and a strikeout to his name. Single in the third, strikeout in the fourth. And that single ended up reaching home after that single, the first of 2 runs for the Scots. That ball misses a little too far inside. Makes the count 2-0. Pitch from Jerish comes in. Big swing from Jack Rich, but he cannot connect. Makes the count 2-1. Rich, the tall first baseman for the Scots. He is towering over both Paulson and the home plate umpire. That 3-1 pitch misses for ball 4. That'll bring runners to first and second now, after Rich reaches with a walk. brings Sam Sessions up to the plate now. We're going to have a pinch runner here for Hunter Kraus, as I think this is a new player here. Not a new player, as that'll be Will Carlisle now at second. Now, I'm not sure if that's a hint that Carlisle will take the place of Kraus. Guess we'll find out once the Scots take the field next inning. Bunt shown, not laid down. Throw down to third is not in time. Both runners will advance. Carlisle now into third. Jack Rich into second with that double steal. And Sessions faces a 1-0 count with two runners in scoring position. Scots now already with a comfortable 2-0 lead. Infield is in. Bunt shown. Bunt laid down towards the pitcher's mound. Runner goes home. Play at the plate is not in time. He missed the tag. Carlisle reaches home after Paulson cannot lay down that tag. Runner tries to go to second, as the Scots now extend their lead to 3-0. Runners on the corners now, as Sam Sessions reaches on that fielder's choice. Time called. Paulson heads on out to the pitcher's mound, as Braden Juravec comes back up to the plate. Juravec currently at 1 for 3 with a single and 2 flyouts to his name. Scots lead 3-0. Runners on the corners now. Top of the 6th inning. Bunt shown. Runner goes down from second. Throw will not reach second, as that is a throw straight back to Jerish over on the mound. Count at 1-0 to Juravec. Two runners in scoring position now. Both runners go. Bunt laid down. Suicide squeeze. As that down the first base line. One run will score. Two runs come in. And that ball gets away. Juravec heading to second as that ball rolls towards the first base fence. And he will be into third. Two runs come in on that suicide bunt. And that is a great offensive play. And it is now 5-0 in favor of the Scots. Juravec into third now as Patrick Turner. That is not Patrick Turner. That will be Trey Brimage now up to the plate. Brimage batting for Patrick Turner. Ethan Jerish ready to launch this pitch to Brimage. Ball misses inside. Should be a 2-1 count now. Jerish kicks, comes home. Ball fouled off. Lots of fly foul balls here in today's game. Umpire down to his last ball, as he announced just a moment ago. Brimage ready for this next pitch from Jerish. Runner on third, Juravec with a lead. Fouled off once again as umpire motions. He is out of baseballs. Ball thrown in from the dugout. We have two balls ready back to go. Brimage launches this one into center field. Could be trouble. That'll be Tilly over to his left, and that will score another run as Jirovic jogs his way in from third, and that gives the Scots a 6-0 lead. As Trey goes down with that F8. 2 away now for Preston Gamster. Gamster had a base hit in his last at bat as this one comes in. Breaking ball misses just a bit inside. Gamster 1 for 2 overall. Had a ground out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third. And then that single, as I just mentioned, in the fifth. Ball misses up high. Brings the count 2-0 now. Jarish comes home. That misses down low. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count to Gamster. Jackets bullpen still quiet. As this pitch comes in, that is a called strike with 3-1. Now the count. Hitter's count on the way to Gamster. He'll be looking for that fastball here. Most likely the best pitch he'll see this at bat. Ball inside, as I was wrong about that best pitch. And he reaches with that 3-1 walk. You have to wonder how long the Denison coach is going to leave Jarish in the game after he's already allowed 4 runs in this half inning.
What are you talking about, old lady?
Ball up high. Brings the count 1-0. Josh Bowers. That is not Josh Bowers. That is going to be Henry Shearer up at the plate in place of Bowers now. Runner goes from first. That is Gamster heading over to second. He is in. No throw down as Gamster reaches second base. Shearer in his first at-bat of the day. Lots of subs here for the Scots as that pitch is a called strike. Count goes to 0-2. And I expect Shearer going to take the place of Bowers behind the plate as this ball hit over back to the pitcher's mound, and that will be thrown over by Jarish to end the inning. Scots really open up this lead, scoring 4 runs in that half inning, now leading 6-0, heading into the bottom of the 6th. And we'll be right back on Game On Sports. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up here from Allen High School as we have a couple of substitutions for the Scots here heading into this bottom of the 6th inning. And we have new catcher for the Scots. That's going to be Henry Shearer. Now behind the plate, Trey Brimage over in right field now in place of Patrick Turner, and Pete McCon in left in place of Harrison Duggar. As this ball high over to short, picked up by the third baseman actually. That's picked up by Kraus. Throw to first is not in time. So that's going to be an infield single for Cam Wheeler to start things off here. Infield still looks the same as Sam Sessions still over at second, Gamster still over at third, Gamster over at short, Kraus still at third, and Jack Rich still over at first. Only difference in the infield is Shearer, the new battery for the Scots. Josh Bauer is getting the rest of the day off, it seems like. Parati throws over to first. Not in time. As Drew Meek now faces a 1-0 count. Dribbler over to third, throw over to second, in time, throw to first is in time. It is a 5-4-3 double play. Kraus tosses it over to Sam Sessions, who will launch it from there over to first. And that will be 2 away now as both runners will leave the field. Drew Meek now goes to 0 for 3 with Cooper McKay coming up to the plate. McKay 0 for 2 as well with a ground out and a strikeout. He struck out looking in his last at bat. That was back in the 4th inning. This first pitch, breaking ball, is a called strike. Count at 0-1. Parati with 3 strikeouts so far in this outing. He's really done a good job pitching in this game. No runs allowed so far as that pitch misses outside. Count even now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Parati deals this one in. That is a strike. Brings the count to 1-2 now. Give a quick shout out real quick to New York Sub, a Highland Park tradition since 1974, and also to Davidson and Bogle, where land is our business. Throw for Parati. That is a dribbler over to third. Picked up by Kraus. He'll toss it over to first. Big, long throw. That is over the head of Rich. And that'll be McKay into second. That E5 is Kraus. It's hard to throw over the head of Jack Rich. He is a long first baseman for the Scots. But he just a bit out of reach of that throw as McKay now into second. Brings up Kanan Farley Jr. I do apologize. Holy cow. Tongue is getting all twisted here. Pitch comes in up high for ball 1 from Parati. Two away here. Runner on second. Scott's looking to get out of this one. Still with a shutout to head into that last frame of today's game. Ball misses up high for ball 2. As there is some action in the Scots bullpen. See if I can get that number here real quick. That is going to be, I do have that name here. Give me just 1 second. Going to be Logan Stribling, getting ready to deal here Stribling has not had an appearance so far this season. This would be his first appearance in a game. As that ball comes in low for ball 4, and Coach Yoder going to look on out to the bullpen. That could be it for Parati. So he'll jog on out. Infield comes in, and that will do it. Gavin Parati with an outstanding outing today. And now with runners on first and second, that'll do it, and that will be Logan Stribling coming in to replace Gavin. And you can hear that applause from this Scots crowd. That was an absolutely outstanding outing from Parati. We're going to take a break. Bottom of the 6th inning, Scots leading 6-0. Logan Stribling now at the bump on the mound for the Scots in this 6th inning of play, getting his first action of the season. Has not seen him on the field so far this season, as that first pitch he deals comes in a little bit low. Runners now on first and second for Logan Tilley. That is Cooper McKay currently at second. And that's going to be Kanan Farley Jr. on first. Count at 1-2 now. So that ball swing, a big swing and a miss from the center fielder. Tilley 1 for 2 so far with a single. He also had a fielder's choice in the 4th. Hit over to short. That's going to be picked up by Gamster. Toss over to first is in time. That'll end the inning. And that'll be Logan Stribling tossing 4 pitches, getting that last out. And the Scots save that inning. No runs on 1 hit. No 1 error and 2 left on base, that is. We'll be back for the last inning of play. Scots leading 6-0 on Game On Sports. Seventh inning here from Allen High School for this last frame between the Scots and the Denison Yellow Jackets. Due up for the Scots. That's going to be Pete McCon. And he'll be followed by Jack Curtis and Hunter Kraus. Excuse me, that is not Jack Curtis. We'll see who this player is. That's Calvin Williams going to come in and hit in place of Curtis. That pitch from Jerish is fouled off. Brings the count 1-1. Pitch to McCon. That is a fly into left field nearing the fence, and that will be just foul. That was a sprinting McKay, almost colliding with that fence down the third base foul line. And that hits McCon. He'll reach first after being hit by that pitch. That'll bring Cal or Vin, however we want to nickname, a couple nicknames there for Calvin Williams, the senior. Williams, when he's not playing baseball, loves working on cars and, in his words, doing cool stuff. Not really sure what that entails, but you can be assured. You can rest assured that it is cool. All the stuff he does is cool. Also a big Rangers fan, and Rangers taking the field today at 2:10. That'll be against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Throw to first, not in time, as McCon back in safely. Calvin Williams awaiting his first pitch. Ball fouled off. That brings the count to 0-1. Jarris looking to get out of this inning in complete opposite fashion as last inning. Last inning gave up 4 runs in that inning. Scots leading 6-0 in this last frame. Reaching about an hour and 50 minutes of play. Could go over time limit, but because it has finished the inning, we will finish this 7th inning of play, so the Scots will end up playing a full game against the Yellow Jackets. That ball almost hitting Williams. Brings the count even at 1-1. Runner goes from first. That is a elevator shot. And that is sliding catch not made by Farley Jr. And I'm honestly not very sure why Paulson didn't go for that ball. That was right in Paulson's territory. Farley had to sprint his way from first, try to slide to make that grab, where Paulson could have hustled underneath that and made the grab. 1-2 now the count. Throw over to first again, and again, not in time. That's a good drive. That's towards center field. That is caught by Tilly. A well hit ball there from Williams, but could not get it down for a hit. And that'll go down as an F8. That'll bring Hunter Kraus up to the plate now. Kraus, the third baseman, the only original starter we've seen this inning. Runner goes from first, fouled off, as McCon going to have to head his way back over to first. Kraus so far, 1 for 2, had a fly out in the second and then a double in the sixth. Throw to first again, not in time. McCon definitely showing that baseball shape that you have to be in. Hustling down to second a couple of times, having to make his way back to first. He's still up and going strong. Ball misses on the inside. The count to Kraus now falls to 1-1. Runner goes from first once again. Throw down to second. Pete McCon reaches second on that stolen base. Ball stopped by Johnson just before he could reach center field. And with a runner on second, 1 away, Kraus faces this 1-1 count. That's a hit over third base. That drops for a base hit into left field. McCon heading for home. Throw cut off. Play at the plate is not in time. Pete McCon reaches home. And that's going to be Kraus heading for third. Play at third. Also not in time. Kraus into third base. McCon comes home from second on that base hit. What would have been a single from Kraus turns into a triple. And that is a 7-0 lead now for the Scots, as that will do it for Ethan Jarish. And we're going to have Tilly. We're going to have a bunch of substitutions here as we're going to take a break, and we'll get those figured out. Stay with us after this break. We'll finish up this 7th inning of play. Scots leading 7-0. Back to action, top of the 7th inning. Runner on third and one away for Jack Rich. Jack Rich up at the plate. Currently at 1 for 2 with a single in his first at bat. A strikeout. He struck out looking in the 4th, and then he got walked in the 6th. Reached home twice so far today. 2 of the 7 runs so far for the Scots. Jack Rich back in the right-handed box. Now to bat for the Yellow Jackets is Logan Tilley. Tilley coming in from center field. A couple of substitutions here for the Yellow Jackets. Tilley now pitching. We have Jerish over in left field, and that is McKay now in center. So a little bit of a new look, little rotation for the Yellow Jackets. This pitch is a called strike. Count becomes evened out at 1-1 to Rich. Tilley ready to go. Here he comes. Ball hit down to third. That is through for a base hit down the line as that bounces over third. And Parker not happy with that one as he thought that got through. And I do apologize. That is not Parker anymore. We'll see who that new third baseman is. Not sure who that is. That is going to be Johnson. That's going to be Peyton Johnson now at third. So where did Parker go? Parker, let's take a look in the infield here. Parker seems to have left the game. There's a missing sub somewhere in here as that ball gets away, and Jack Rich now heads into third. See where this mystery sub is. As at short, that is Uton. Yes, Uton has played there the whole game. So it looks like second base could be our mystery sub. Has his glove in the way of his number, so I cannot see so far. That is going to be a high fly over towards third base, picked up by Uton for that second out. And the second baseman going to be our mystery player, as that is, see who this is. That is Zayden Ramey. That's who that is. So Ramey now into second in place of Johnson, who's over at third. And Parker now not in play anymore. That pitch hits the batter. My goodness, I'm losing track of all of these substitutions. Walker Anderson now on first. Anderson reaches first after that base on balls, and that first pitch is fouled off. And that is going to be Trey Brimage back at the plate. Brimage playing for Turner. Anderson will be playing for Jirovec. Lots and lots of players. That is the 14th registered player, 15th, 16th if you count Parati and Stribling. As that pitch comes in for strike. Pitch misses up high. swung on and missed from Brimage, and he will go down swinging, and that ends the top half of the 7th inning. Scots still leading by a score of 7-0. You're watching Game On Sports. Last chance for the Yellow Jackets coming up after this. See if it goes. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up here from Allen High School. I apologize for that little premature talking there. I was not aware that I was online, so I do apologize dearly for that. Back on the mound, Logan Stribling back to deal for the Scots, and he will be facing Owen Uten, followed by Preston Paulson, and Parker Garland will be finishing things off. Ball is fouled off onto the Yellow Jacket dugout, and that will bring the count to now at 1-1 for Uten. Pitch to Uten, misses over his head. Brings the count now to 2-1. Stribling delivers. Drop third strike. Throw over to first is in time, as that kind of looked like Uten touched that ball out of the batter's box. Umpire, of course, said no, he did not throw it over to first base. Stribling misses that first ball out down low. We have the numbers for Gavin Parati. Parati, who started the game, 5.2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, only 4 hits given up, and no runs. Very great outing from Gavin Parati. He helped propel the Scots to what should be a very big win. Ball misses up high as Preston Paulson is now at the plate. Pitch from Stribling comes in. That's hit over to second base. And that's going to be picked up by Sam Sessions, who'll make the throw over to first. Paulson goes down with that 4-3 putout. And Logan Stribling, you see his hat falling off of his head quite a bit when he pitches. That is actually his superstition. If he told me if his hat does not fall off during a pitch, that tells him he did not throw it hard enough. So be on the lookout for that hat continuously falling off. Came loose there, but didn't fall off as that pitch came in for strike one. Count 0-1. That's going to be hit over to short. And that's Gamster making the throw over to first for that third out, and that will do it. That is ball game. Scots take the win by a score of 7-0, and that'll do it for us from the Collin County Classic. Scots go 3-2 on the weekend, a winning record for the weekend and a winning record for the season, now at a 5-4 record. Heading into the Scotland Yard Classic, that'll be next week, Thursday through Saturday, and that will be right here once again on Game On Sports. For everybody involved in this production of Game On Sports, for our producer Fred Garner, I am Lincoln Revel saying so long from Allen High School. Good night, Scots fans, and God bless.